Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We have got some incredible bullish news to bring from you straight from the man himself, Brad Garlinghouse. Not only that, we've got some more bullish developments for XRP and Ripple, and we'll get straight into it right now. So, what is the news? This is taken straight from our very own newsletter. The link is in the description, first link in the description, and you can have this newsletter yourself. We will come on to the video of Brad Garlinghouse saying how much of Swift is going to take over and our price predictions based on that, those levels. But Apex has started. It is the largest annual global summit for the XRP ledger community, hosted by Ripple. It brings together developers, innovators, businesses, and investors for a 3-day event focused on blockchain technology, showcasing the latest advancements, networking opportunities, and in-depth discussion about the future of the XRPL ecosystem. What a great ecosystem it is, what a great ledger it is, what the number of developments on this ledger in the last year is incredible. The number of announcements I'm going to sorry, I've just got something going on there that can go away. The number of announcements I have in this video is exceptional. So, what am I talking about? Ripple's bold bet: XRP to capture 14% of Swift's global volume. That is the main story we're talking about, and I've got some more, but this is incredible. I mean, I think Brad Garlinghouse might have been a little bit drunk when he let this one out. We'll see. At Apex 2025 in Singapore, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse electrified the crowd with a headline prediction: XRP would capture up to 14% of Swift's global transaction volume within 5 years. Rather than replacing Swift's messaging system, Garlinghouse emphasizes XRP's opportunity to dominate the liquidity layer. Liquidity is where power lies. He declared outlining XRP's path as a foundational cross-border payments tool. Let's have a listen into this video.
Tokenized real-world assets fairly quickly.
In 5 years.
5 years,
Yeah. So, I mean,
it's for a dumb reason.
Swift today, there's two ways to think about Swift. There's a messaging and there's liquidity. Liquidity is owned by the banks. I think less about the messaging and more about liquidity. Because if you're driving all the liquidity, that's good for XRP. Right. Anyway, so I'll say 5 years, 14%.
The reason is auditability. You know, in most of the big problem with auditing right now is if I
14%, and we've also got Dave Schwab's talking about the billions and billions coming onto Ledger. 14%, and he said that himself. I mean, I've not known him to make predictions like that before, but there it is. So what does that prediction mean? We've got a few various AI models telling us what they think that means. So AI predictions for XRP price if it captures 14% of Swift's volume. Grok AI, that's Elon Musk's one, is suggesting $100 to $500. So factors considered: ETF speculation, 15 where's it gone? 14% of Swift's flowing through XRPL, and market sentiment. Historical crypto rallies show prices often overshoot utility during FOMO phases. So putting those together, those are its assumptions. It's saying $100 to $500 range. XRP becomes the cornerstone of global liquidity, with ETF hype amplifying. So 100 to 500. Would I say that? Well, maybe if 14% was captured. I don't think 100 is. That's far-fetched. DeepSeek AI is saying $63 base, 170 bull case. Stay with us. I'm going to give you the predictions. I'm going to give you the charts, and then I'm going to give you also more more stories from Apex. So please do hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave me your thoughts. What do you think your price prediction is for XRP, let's say, in the next 5 years with that level of adoption from Swift? What do you think? Leave it in the comments below, and if you're watching live, put it in the live chat. DeepSeek AI is saying $63 to $170 depending on the velocity and how many transactions are at a time. Its base case is 30, then it's 63, then it's 170. ChatGPT model is giving us a lower prediction of about $40. So we will keep an eye on that. What would I say? what I've always said. 5 years time, $50 to $100 is definitely possible, and that falls within those ranges. We've got stablecoins taking center stage. We've also got USDC now on the XRP ledger, which is incredible. But let's talk about this story here. Brad Garlinghouse highlighted his bullish outlook on stablecoins, citing the recent blockbuster IPO of Circle, the company behind USDC, a clear indicator of surging institutional and retail interest in blockchain-based finance. Garlinghouse noted that the market confidence in the passage of the Genius Act as US stablecoin regulatory bill bipartisan support was a key factor in Circle's successful public debut. So Circle, massive company now, showcasing what crypto really is about, and it's on the stock markets as well. I've got quite a few stories I want to get through. I'm going to go to past newsletters after this, where you've got the XRP tokenization story, where you've got billions coming on chain as well. Also, the EVM sidechain launch. Ethereum compatibility comes to XRPL. Who said DeFi can't happen on XRPL? And here it is. Ripple CTO David Schwartz confirmed that the XRPL EVM sidechain will go live on the mainnet in Q2 of 2025, built with Persist and connected via Axlar. The sidechain supports Ethereum-compatible smart contracts. The testnet has already logged over 280,000 daily transactions. Also, tokenization, US treasuries and real-world assets go live. XRPL now hosts tokenized US treasuries via Ondo Finance. I bought some Ondo token last night. A lot of good news stories coming from that token and that company. And it's backed by BlackRock's BUIDL fund. Ripple URL-USD stablecoin facilitates 24/7 conversion, enabling institutional investors to access and settle these assets around the clock. Guggenheim Treasury Services also launched digital commercial paper DCP on XRPL, accelerating the growth of its real-world assets ecosystem. Ripple CTO David Schwartz captured the scale and the speed of the transformation of Apex 25 by saying what? It's in that video up above in the newsletter. We are going to see many hundreds of billions of dollars very quickly moving onto the XRP ledger. And I'll tell you why else. I'll go on to the other stories of tokenization from a couple of days ago as well. This milestone signals a foundation shift in on-chain finance, with tokenized treasuries and other real-world assets now live, delivering faster, greener, and more efficient access to global markets. Monica Long, the Ripple president, also has said this is a turning point for regulatory clarity. What I'm also going to bring to you, this is the newsletter. Remember, you can get all of the news every single morning, all the head stories, everything you need to know in the morning, all fact-checked, all sourced. Takes hours and hours to write. It is the first link in the description. All the XRP stories, all the wider stories that you need to know if you're an investor. So do consider subscribing. The link is the first in the description. I'm going to go and find you another XRP story from a newsletter a couple days ago, and I'll bring this to you as well. So we've got ETF momentum coming next week. Investors' momentum around US-listed XRP spot ETF is accelerating, but this time it's grounded in more than just speculation. The SEC recently approved Nasdaq's Crypto US Settlement Price Index, NCISU, and put XRP in the same regulatory grade price benchmark as Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the SEC choosing to do that. That's why I think that these ETF will get approved very soon. And not only that, the spot ETF filings are already in play. Franklin Templeton, we all know Franklin Templeton, massive asset manager. The application hits an SEC milestone on June the 17th, next week. Get ready. While Wisdom Tree's XRP Trust is in active review. These proposals follow the same regulatory pathway as Bitcoin ETFs took: futures first, then spot. Notably, Volatility Shares launched the first XRP futures in May, and CME added XRP futures shortly after. The elephant in the room is the ongoing Ripple and SEC lawsuit. Today or yesterday, we got the news that they have filed again. So let's see what Judge Torres says this time. My thoughts would be, I would be surprised if she denies it again, because both the SEC and XRP want to end this. So this Franklin Templeton story is big. June the 17th, keep your eye out on it. Remember, they filed it, SEC delayed it for 45 days until they had until May the 3rd to reply. Instead, they delayed it until June the 17th. So June the 17th, next week, are we going to get their ETF approval? I do have some more XRP stories I want to bring you as well, so stay with me about the tokenization. Let me see which one it was in. Maybe it was, we had a few XRP stories this week. Not this newsletter. I'll see if I can find it. If not, you can always go through the newsletters and find it. Let's see, maybe it was last week. Maybe it's this one. Let's have a look. Not this one. I'm just trying to see if I can bring you another XRP story, which is quite important as well. Maybe it's this one. I don't think I can find it for this video right now. That's the silver short. So there's so many stories that you can always go and check out. Let me see if I find it. XRP, XRP, XRP. A lot of volatility is going to come next week with all these stories, and the underlying news for XRP is absolutely incredible. You get news stories after news stories. The price is down today. Do I think this is an opportunity? Yes, I do. Do I give financial advice? No, nothing I say is ever financial advice. I'm happy to hold Ripple XRP for the long term. If it goes up this cycle, I'm expecting $10 to $11. It can go as high as $20. If it doesn't, I'm happy to hold sideways. Next cycle, I do think $50 is very likely, and it can go much higher. I think XRP is undervalued. But again, there is always risk to these assets. Let me see if one final try. Which one would it be in? XRP's DeFi upgrade? No. Circle's IPO? No. XRP decision? No. Oh, here we go. I should just read my own subtitles. Two things here. The Vivo Power, 121 million XRP treasury pivot. What this means, I apologize if you're watching this as a video. We make all our videos during live shows, so we are the most honest, truthful channel out there. Vivo Power, it is a stock traded on the Nasdaq, and they are the first publicly traded company to adopt an XRP-focused treasury strategy. They're raising 121 million from private investors, Saudi Prince, and the majority of the funds will be used to acquire XRP. A company is looking to have an XRP treasury, just like MicroStrategy is doing it for Bitcoin. This is another company doing it for XRP. We are waiting on a vote that's coming anytime soon. I think the vote is happening on June the 18th, very soon, next week, and that's a $100 million purchase of XRP. That will certainly have an effect on the price, in my opinion, and that's coming out soon. We also have Ondo Finance launches tokenization of US security treasuries on the XRP ledger. That is Ondo Finance launching tokenized US treasury products, OUSG, directly on the XRP ledger. We also have stories of Ripple working in Dubai to bring real estate on-chain as well. So much underlying bullish news for XRP and Ripple. We also had news, the reason they made the RLUSD was, Brad said it yesterday on the Apex, was because they were at one point they were minting 20% of USDC, and they said, why are we doing this? Why don't we just have our own stablecoin? So they are doing a lot. The Hidden Road acquisition has only started to take place now with how they are putting things in place. So I'm so bullish on this asset. That doesn't mean go out and buy it. That just means it is something to keep an eye out for. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Please do have a look at these two videos up here. Check out the newsletter, first link in the description. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.